Chosen one, you arrived here with purpose. Heaven drew you to this moment, perfectly timed. Something unseen is shifting now, in your favor. You stand at the precipice of a supernatural breakthrough. A divine wealth transfer that no dark force can delay. It's truly happening. The same God who empowers you to create wealth is stirring that power within you right now. This isn't just a message, it's an awakening. Open your spirit, lean in. Heaven is about to reveal why you were sent to earth. This is for you, chosen one. There's a moment in every destiny when the truth you've avoided finally faces you. That moment, for you, is now. You're here not by coincidence, but because something ancient, sacred, written before Earth's bones were laid, is awakening inside you. You are remembering who you truly are. For years, a deep restlessness lingered, unexplained. You tried to soothe it by working harder, distracting yourself, fitting into lives and environments not built for your calling. No matter how much you shrank, something whispered, there is more. Today, heaven answers that whisper with clarity, yes, there is more. And you were born for it. Your journey has never been random. Every struggle was purposeful. The betrayals, the confusion, the silent battles, the tear-soaked nights praying for relief, none of it was wasted. I understand this path intimately, the intense warfare, the heart a battlefield, survival feeling like a miracle some days. But now I know. The pressure was never meant to crush you. It was meant to carve you. You were shaped in secret for something public. Prepared in obscurity for the divine. All the pain you felt was preparation. The rejection you assumed was abandonment was protection. Every season of loneliness wasn't God overlooking you, but separating you. Nothing and no one could interfere with what he was building. Here's a truth, the very intensity of your battles is the evidence of your calling. People who carry nothing don't face your storms. Those empty of destiny aren't threatened by hell. The weight of your warfare proves your worth. You survived not just by strength. You survived because your assignment refused to let you die. Moments of despair, of wanting to quit, yet something kept pulling you. That something was God's hand, steadying you even when you couldn't. Now, heaven calls you to step into a truth your spirit always knew. You are not ordinary. You never were. You carry something heaven-sized, planted before time had language. Something unbreakable. No demon, no trauma, no delay could erase it. You are not behind, not late, not forgotten. You are right on heaven's schedule. The world may have misread you, but God held the blueprint. Today, heaven unveils what hell tried to bury, your assignment. It's bigger than your fear, louder than your doubt, heavier than your qualifications. That's precisely why you were chosen. God never seeks the most prepared, he prepares those he chooses. Your destiny demands more than confidence. It's designed to pull you into a version of yourself you haven't met yet, but heaven always knew. Purpose needs agreement, not perfection. Heaven isn't waiting for you to feel ready, it's waiting for your yes. You've walked through too much darkness for smallness. Refined too deeply for mediocrity. Survived too many storms to pretend you're ordinary. This is not just words, it's a spiritual summons. A divine reminder, an echo from eternity, calling you back into alignment with why God breathed you into existence. This is your awakening, remembering, rising. The time has come to step into the assignment chasing you your entire life. Heaven is ready, aligned, moving. You must move with it. Now that the veil is lifted, and you recognize your weight, we must go deeper. Awareness is only the beginning. Awakening must lead to activation. Your calling isn't a whisper, it's a living fire, placed in your spirit before birth, now igniting again. Before you step into heaven's unveiling, understand your original design. Not the version shaped by trauma or survival. But the original blueprint God spoke into existence before your body was given. Chosen one, everything about you was intentional. Your sensitivity, your intuition, your restlessness, your depth, these were never accidents. They were preparations, indicators. Evidence that heaven built you for an assignment ordinary people couldn't handle without collapsing. You were engineered for spiritual weight. Shaped for divine pressure, created to hold what others would drop. Even when life distorted your identity, your assignment never left. It simply went underground, waiting for the appointed time to surface again. That appointed time is now. Chosen one. The reason you feel the shift, sense movement in the unseen realm, is heaven activating something dormant inside you. Powerful, ancient. Covered by years of distraction, wounds, responsibilities, survival mode thinking. But heaven didn't forget, and neither did your spirit. Your mind may have forgotten your purpose, but your spirit never did. That's why certain jobs, environments, relationships drained you. Your spirit refused to settle for misalignment. I remember sitting at a desk, years ago, spiritually starving despite external security. It wasn't depression or laziness. It was misalignment. I wasn't out of God's love, but out of my assignment. And so were you. When not walking in heaven's design, life feels heavy, blurry, pointless. Your spirit fights you, refusing to settle for less. You may ignore it, bury it, distract yourself, but eventually your assignment knocks again. Sometimes softly, sometimes violently. The attacks weren't punishments, they were alarms, divine disruptions pushing you back on track. Heaven loves you too much to let you waste what you carry. Let this settle in, your assignment is not fragile, your destiny not optional. Your calling cannot be cancelled. It's encoded in your being. No betrayal, heartbreak, or failure diminished it. The enemy tried to bury it, but heaven always resurrects what it plants. Resurrection is happening now. But here's the true enemy of assignment, not demons, not opposition, but one hiding in plain sight, looking harmless, even normal. One that slips through cracks, suffocating destiny. Distraction, the silent assassin of purpose. It dulls you, numbs you, keeps you busy but empty. It trades divine assignment for temporary relief. The enemy knows he doesn't need to destroy your calling, just divert your attention. How many sparks to create, build, speak, lost to entertainment, fear, comparison, scrolling, or waiting for tomorrow? How many visions faded because you delayed? Ideas dried up because you felt unready? Prophetic nudges ignored, awaiting permission? I'm not judging. I've lived this, seen opportunities die, felt assignments slip. Every delay taught me, time is the only currency you can't get back. Your purpose needs your attention. Heaven seeks your agreement, not someday, not after you feel worthy, but now. Destiny has a window. A sacred moment, a divine opening, and you are in it. Your next level requires focus. Your assignment needs surrender. Heaven cleared the path. But it can't walk for you. Choose alignment over distraction, purpose over comfort, calling over convenience. You're on the edge of awakening. Your assignment stands before you, waiting for your yes. In the next section, we dive deeper, how heaven reveals purpose. How to recognize divine alignment, and fully step into what God placed you on earth to accomplish. Chosen one. There comes a moment when confusion fades, and truth emerges. Rarely in calm, but often after storms, disappointments, losses. In the collapse of the familiar, heaven speaks loudest. And right now, heaven is speaking to you. You were never meant to wander, hoping purpose reveals itself. Heaven has been pointing to it all along, through burdens, sensitivity, gifts. The problem wasn't hidden purpose, but not knowing heaven's language. Your assignment is woven into who you are, living in your soul's refusal to settle. It reveals itself in repeating patterns you've tried to numb or outrun. They follow you because destiny cannot be abandoned. The first truth: your burden is your beacon. What breaks your heart isn't random. What angers your spirit isn't coincidence. What wakes you at 3 a.m., makes your chest tighten when others ignore it. That's heaven assigning you territory. You can't tolerate it. I learned this the hard way. Why did seeing others lost stir something volcanic? I thought I was wrong. But the ache was guidance. The finger of God pointing to the very people I was born to reach. Your sensitivity has always been a clue, too. You feel deeper, sense atmospheres, discern motives. You spent years apologizing for it, trying to toughen up. But sensitive spirits are finely tuned. They function like antennas, perceiving realms others cannot. You were meant to be aware, crafted to sense heaven's work and darkness's plot. This is why you feel heaviness, no intentions, notice spiritual shifts. Your sensitivity is a divine instrument, not an emotional liability. Then there's your flow, things you do without effort, that people praise, but you shrug off as small. Abilities never meant to be learned. They were meant to be lived. Your gift isn't a hobby, it's a roadmap, heaven's signature on your life. The imprint of your assignment. Others struggle for hours where you excel in minutes. That's not coincidence, that's calling. But many only realize after being broken enough. Divine alignment often begins with disruption. Heaven rarely reveals your next level in comfort. Friction, frustration, loss open the door. When everything familiar collapses, you finally see what was real. Moments I thought would destroy me, heartbreaks, failures, silence. Now I see, those were the moments that clarified my path. Distractions fell, people left, my plans failed. The divine blueprint appeared. If you're honest, you'll see the pattern. Every loss revealed truth. Disappointment stripped illusions. Closed doors redirected steps. Pain pushed you closer. The breaking didn't destroy you, it revealed you. Heaven has been speaking for years through desires, restlessness, dreams. Through opportunities, obstacles, moments that refuse to leave you alone. Heaven speaks in repetition, in resonance. Your job isn't to force purpose. Your job is to recognize it. Once you see the patterns, everything aligns: spirit, vision, decisions, relationships, time. Heaven doesn't just reveal, it prepares you to carry it. Chosen one, you aren't lost. You are being aligned. The things that confused you now make sense. The weight you feel is not pressure, it is prophecy. In the next stage, heaven shows you how to step fully. With clarity, boldness, and supernatural guidance. Chosen one, as you awaken, you see a truth: every calling demands a price. Every divine assignment drags a shadow of warfare. Your battles aren't abandonment, they're evidence you carry something the enemy fears unleashed. The intensity of your struggles, the receipt of your anointing. You weren't shaped for an ordinary life. Your journey is unique. While others found routines, you wrestled with invisible weight. While some enjoyed stability, you fought sudden storms. You endured battles leaving hidden scars. You didn't choose this path, you were chosen for it. Chosen ones are never formed in comfort. The truth is simple, but hard to accept. Your calling is costly because your impact is great. Heaven placed something inside you hell immediately recognized. That's why you were marked early. Why you matured faster, survived experiences that broke others. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. The loneliness haunting you wasn't emptiness, it was protection. Heaven often isolates those it intends to elevate. You were being shielded. While you begged for connection, heaven drew a sacred circle, keeping out those who dilute or destroy your calling. Isolation still hurts, though. You cried, questioned worth, identity, God's care. But you were never abandoned. You were hidden, preserved, guarded. Heaven wasn't withholding people. Heaven was shielding your assignment. With honest eyes, you see it now, broken friendships were exits. Collapsed relationships were rescues. Dried seasons were instructions. Heaven removed what couldn't go where God is taking you. You didn't lose what you needed, you lost what would have limited you. Yet, the war was real. The enemy can't kill your calling, but he wars against your confidence, focus, time. Weapons designed to exhaust you spiritually. Every chosen one faces 3 battles, uniquely experienced. First, distraction. Not loud, but soft. The endless scrolling, mental fog. Procrastination disguised as waiting. Emotional exhaustion stealing creativity. Distraction is subtle. It whispers. Its goal, keep your eyes busy. If it keeps your eyes busy, it keeps your spirit blind. The enemy just needs to delay your destiny long enough to lose momentum. Second, delay. A sickness of the soul making you believe purpose can wait. You convince yourself you need more healing, confidence, stability, talent. Delay feels logical, even responsible, but it's deadly. It postpones what heaven activates. Many callings don't fail, they expire. Third battle, doubt, the enemy's favorite weapon. If distraction targets time, and delay targets decisions, doubt targets your identity. If he can convince you that you're unworthy, incapable, not chosen, not enough, he stops you without touching circumstances. Darkest lies in weakest moments. Your mind, a battlefield. Wrestling with insecurity, despite others seeing strength. Your identity was under attack. Because your destiny is unstoppable. Yet, despite it all, you survived. Not by chance, luck, or strength alone. You survived because heaven intervened. Your assignment refused to die. Your calling isn't fragile. Your destiny isn't optional. You made it through silencing storms, walked out of consuming valleys. You didn't just endure, you were sharpened by warfare. Everything you battled shaped you for the next chapter. Your tears watered purpose. Heartbreaks stripped illusions. Disappointments forced alignment. Seasons of emptiness cleared space. Your wounds became wisdom. Chosen one, you're entering a stage requiring new awareness. The war wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to alert you. You survived because what's inside you is bigger. Heaven asks you to rise with clear eyes, steady focus, unshakable understanding. The time for shrinking has expired. You are stepping into a spiritual moment of divine timing. The next revelation, how to recognize signs. Chosen one, there are moments when the atmosphere around you shifts, long before surface changes. You feel it, can't explain it. Something whispers the old season ends, a new one forms beneath. Not imagination, but divine timing. Heaven moves spiritually, then physically. The shift begins unseen. Your spirit knows before your mind understands. You sense transition even when nothing looks different. You feel a turning point coming. No external evidence, but you're not confused, you're aligned. Divine timing always announces itself, but its language is spiritual. You recognize it with your spirit. First sign, collapse of comfort. Familiar places become tight. Interests change, tolerance changes. People, environments, drain you, suffocate you. Not instability, but your spirit outgrowing spaces. Before elevation, God disrupts attachment to what's unaligned. This feels like restlessness, but it's holy. It's heaven whispering, you cannot stay here. There is more. Then, mysteriously, old dreams resurface. Ideas abandoned years ago reappear. Passions buried awaken. Words spoken return with new weight. Visions forgotten stir. Not nostalgia, but divine recall. Heaven brings back instructions you were too wounded or unprepared to act on. When the past returns with power, the future is calling. As you near divine timing, spiritual senses intensify. Discernment sharpens, intuition gets louder. You see through intentions, detect atmospheres quickly. Wake at unusual hours with clarity. Dreams become vivid. Signs repeat. Numbers appear. Coincidences follow like breadcrumbs. This isn't superstition. This is spiritual tuning. Heaven adjusts your inner frequency. A new assignment requires an alert spirit. Destiny can't sneak up if you're awake. Hardest sign, separation. People fall away, abruptly or gradually. Connections weaken, friendships distance, relationships misalign. Not fault, but elevation. You can't carry everyone. You can't explain your calling to those tied to your old identity. Heaven disconnects you from what can't support growth. Yes, it hurts, feels like loss. But spiritually, it's positioning. Heaven prunes your environment so the next season can breathe. After an era of fatigue, something shifts internally. A spark returns. Energy reappears. Ideas flow. Creativity flows. Hope rises. Your spirit feels lighter. What felt impossible is doable. This is resurrection, strength hidden until the right season, now revived. Just as you adjust, heaven interrupts your external world. Not accident, but orchestration. A message, clarity, an opportunity. Doors locked for years open. Connections align. Something clicks, confirms, moves. This is divine interruption, heaven stepping into your timeline. These patterns aren't random, they're divine timing's language. Landmarks of a turning point. Heaven hasn't been silent. Heaven has been guiding, preparing, shifting, aligning. Everything sensed lately, restlessness, clarity, signs, endings, opportunities, is evidence. Your next season is forming. The old chapter closes. A door emerges, your life carrying transition's fragrance. Your spirit knows, heaven knows. The timing is near. The only question, will you step in with courage or remain where it's familiar? Chosen one. Once you recognize divine timing signals, something powerful unfolds. Destiny isn't stumbled into, it's prepared for. Heaven shapes the vessel. That shaping happens now, and for years. Preparation isn't glamorous. It's in quiet wrestlings, hidden battles, moments of doubt, nights of tears. The world doesn't see your cost to become this version. Heaven watches every moment. Your preparation is long because your assignment is large. Many want purpose, few prepared. But you endured fire, stretching, breaking, rebuilding. Walked through collapsing valleys. Unlearned patterns. Detached from those who couldn't grow. Forgave yourself for past ignorance. Shaped quietly, deeply, deliberately. Every random chapter was preparation. You learned endurance, discernment, patience, surrender, faith. This is how heaven prepares. Not by easy seasons, but transforming character, sharpening spirit, deepening dependence on God. Now, heaven calls you into spiritual posture. What's coming is responsibility, spiritual weight, supernatural assignment. To walk in this purpose, your spirit must be positioned correctly. Spiritual posture isn't ritual. It's your inner being's stance. How your soul leans, listens, responds. Purpose isn't striving, it's alignment. Alignment begins with surrender, not dramatic, but in daily choices. Obedience over convenience, clarity over comfort, purpose over opinions. Your spiritual assignment is more important than temporary feelings. To be chosen means you can't live like everyone else. You can't indulge distractions, numb your spirit with noise, ignore God's voice, or treat your calling casually. You carry heaven's agenda. That requires consistency. Spiritual posture means allowing heaven to train your emotions. Can't carry instability of old wounds. Can't build future on insecurity, walk in authority believing old lies. Preparation demands emotional maturity, purpose over triggers, wisdom over impulses. Peace over chaos. And discipline, learned through necessity. When heaven aligns, procrastination is dangerous. Wasted time costly. Prayer is oxygen. Discernment, survival. Consistency, a requirement. Not punishment, but protection. The spiritual backbone when calling's weight increases. Preparation also involves purification, not perfection, but cleansing motives. Shedding old identities, releasing what defined you. Heaven strips away what doesn't belong in the next chapter. Ego can't lead, past can't anchor, wounds can't interpret future. Fears can't steer. God isolated, refined, emptied you, not to punish, but to upgrade. He needed your spirit light, heart open, hands empty for something new. The deeper your calling, the deeper your preparation. Greater assignment, more intense shaping. Larger destiny, longer process. But preparation nears completion. You've been humbled, softened, sharpened, awakened. Spirit no longer asleep. Discernment active. Heart aligned. Vision clearing. You understand the long journey, personal warfare, intense isolation, slow timing. Heaven wasn't delaying, heaven was developing you. In the next part, you'll step into a deeper truth, how to recognize your actual assignment. Not vague purpose, but specific mission. God encoded it inside you before birth. Chosen one, as preparation nears completion, heaven subtly unveils your assignment's truth. Your specific assignment, written in your spirit. Not a career path to figure out. It's something you remember, awakens, clicks. Something ancient rises inside, saying, this is what I was made for. Revelation happens in layers. Your spirit must be strong enough for the truth. Purpose without maturity becomes pride. Assignment without character becomes destruction. This is why God took his time, refused to rush development, didn't give clarity too soon. But now, timing is different. Your posture, spirit is different. Now, you are ready for the unveiling. Chosen one, heaven reveals your assignment through a convergence. Your burden, sensitivity, gift, past. Your wounds, victories, patterns, passions, spiritual wiring, all intersect at one point. That point is where your destiny lives. Your burden heals. Your wounds teach. Your battles break. Your gifts build. Your compassion reaches. Your sensitivity discerns. Your struggles shatter chains. Purpose isn't random, purpose is patented. Zoom out. Look at repeating themes. You'll see the blueprint heaven whispered all along. For years, you thought life happened to you. Now you see it happened for you. Every part of your story was prophetic, even the embarrassing parts. Even the parts that wounded, broke, or you wanted erased. Chosen one, your assignment lives in the places you tried to hide. Think, the enemy attacked the exact area God anointed you. Not coincidence, confirmation. The devil doesn't waste bullets. He targeted your identity, voice, confidence, relationships, mind because they are essential to your assignment. Trace the warfare, find your destiny map. Your assignment is the very thing hell tried hardest to take. Understand this, stop looking through pain, see through prophecy. Everything changes. You stop resenting past, fearing future, comparing, doubting gifts, apologizing for anointing. You recognize heaven trusted you with certain storms because it anointed you for certain victories. Chosen one, your assignment isn't small. It never was. That's why your process was painful. God wasn't punishing, He was strengthening you. Stretching you to carry something heavy without collapsing. Preparing you for rooms you felt unworthy of, lives you felt unqualified to reach, realms you felt too small to enter. But it's also about who you become. Purpose is not merely impact, it's transformation. Heaven's goal, not just mission, but shaping you into a vessel capable of fulfilling it. Your assignment is the bridge between becoming and calling. It will always feel too big. It's supposed to. If it didn't, it wouldn't be divine. Heaven never calls you to what you can do without heaven. It requires faith without seeing, courage despite fear, obedience without perfect conditions. Trust that survives silence, humility embracing dependence on God. Your assignment is bigger than your feelings, fears, opinions, self-doubt. Yet, heaven believes you can carry it. Heaven has always believed in you, even when you doubted, ran, felt unqualified and unseen. Your assignment has been chasing you because it belongs to you, chosen one. In the next part, we enter deepest truths. How to overcome internal battles, fear, hesitation, spiritual exhaustion, shadows of your past. Chosen one. The moment your true assignment reveals itself, a new battle emerges. Not external storms, but within your being. The war within. The quiet trembling as destiny draws near. Resistance rising from old shadows, trying to hold back who you're becoming. Many assume hardest warfare is external. Truth, deepest warfare happens inside you when heaven pushes you to the next level. Hell may attack circumstances, but destiny awakens internal opposition, fear, hesitation, doubt, past failures, old wounds. This inner war is not weakness. It is a sign of transition. The closer to your calling, the louder old identity voices. Fear shows up not because you're unprepared. Fear shows up because you're stepping into something too powerful for the old you to survive. Chosen one, when destiny is near, insecurities don't die quietly. They scream. They cling. They negotiate with your spirit. What if I fail? Not good enough. Not accepted. Wrong time. Don't have what it takes. These aren't questions, they're spiritual decoys, shadows of an identity you've outgrown. You're not fighting fear because you lack purpose. You're fighting fear because you finally found it. Just like that, your mind becomes a battlefield. Past arguing with future. Wounds arguing with anointing. Personal history arguing with heaven's prophecy. This inner conflict every chosen one must face. Not punishment, but preparation. No one carries divine assignment with an unhealed mind. Before elevation, heaven confronts you. Chosen one. 3 shadows rise when destiny approaches. Once recognized, they lose power. First shadow, memory. Not what God did, but what hurt you. Your past knocks, reminding you of those who left, mocked, doubted, betrayed, underestimated. Memories rise because enemy wants you to believe past disqualifies. But your past is not a prison. It is a prophecy. Everything shaped you for what's next. Second shadow, comparison. The temptation to measure your calling by someone else's timeline, talent, journey. Wondering why others seem more confident, prepared, experienced. But comparison is a thief of calling. Their journey isn't your blueprint. Heaven custom-made your assignment for your spirit, personality, battles, scars. You weren't designed to fit anyone else's role. You're designed to fill the space only you can occupy. Third shadow, hesitation. The pull to pause, wait for the right moment, postpone obedience. But truth, there will never be a right moment for something supernatural. Heaven moves in appointed time, not comfortable time. The moment you feel least prepared is often when heaven opened the door. Hesitation is the last line of defense. For the version of you heaven is trying to retire. Chosen one, the inner war isn't trying to destroy you. It is trying to delay you. If the enemy can't steal your assignment, he'll steal your readiness. Drain your confidence before the first step. Exhaust your spirit. So you mistake spiritual stretching for weakness. But hear me, you don't need a fearless heart, you need a willing one. Courage isn't absence of fear. It is obedience in its presence. Despite shadows, inner war, trembling, understand, heaven didn't choose you because you were flawless. Heaven chose you because you were faithful. Heaven saw your endurance, your tears, how you kept going, even when hollow. Heaven saw the nights you broke, but still whispered, God, don't let me go. Your assignment requires the healed you, not the perfected you. Everything you feel now, conflict, stretching, discomfort, is evidence your old identity loses grip. Your spirit expands. Capacity grows. Roots deepen. Destiny approaches. Chosen one, the internal war isn't failing, it's transitioning. Pressure is spiritual contraction. Your old season breaks open so the new can be born. Your calling isn't ahead of you, it's rising within you. In the next part, we go deeper into divine courage, supernatural boldness, and spiritual authority to walk fully in your heaven-ordained assignment. Chosen one. Everything you've walked through, burden, battle, confusion, preparation, awakening, confrontation, leads to one reality: your divine authorities rise. Not borrowed authority, not confidence manufactured by achievement, but the authority heaven placed in you long before life bruised you. There comes a moment when process becomes prophecy. Pain becomes clarity. Inner war becomes inner strength. Everything endured aligns. You recognize you're no longer who you used to be. You stand on the other side of breaking, unshakable. Chosen one, you step into that moment now. For years, you walked with quiet power you couldn't articulate. Carried wisdom from wounds, strength from storms, discernment from disappointment. You questioned your path's spiritual weight. Now you see, heaven built a foundation no attack could destroy. Authority isn't given lightly. Authority is formed in fire, and heaven trusted you with fire. Storms that tried to break you, trained you. You became fluent in survival. So you could become fluent in spiritual leadership. You learned to stand alone, lead without approval. Hear God in silence. Resilience in shadows. So your light could stand tall in your next season. Chosen one, you are no longer the person who questioned your worth. You've grown into someone who understands your weight. A shift happens inside you, a divine settling. Trembling quieted. Confusion weakened. Shadows lost authority. What remains is clarity, purpose, an inner stillness that comes only with destiny alignment. You understand why warfare was intense. Why isolation was deep, preparation took long. Heaven wasn't preparing you for something small. Heaven was preparing you for something generational. Your assignment isn't ordinary. It never was. Your calling isn't casual. It never could be. What you carry will break generational patterns. What you speak will free people. What you build will shift atmospheres. What you embody will shine light in dark places for too long. This is why God didn't rush your development, allow doors to open too early. He waited until your spirit was strong enough for full purpose. Chosen one, you aren't just stepping into an assignment, you're stepping into your identity. Identity gives authority its power. The real you, healed, sharpened, awakened, now emerges. The version hell feared is the version heaven releases. You aren't returning to who you were. You're stepping into who you were always meant to be. This is when purpose becomes movement. Calling becomes action. Everything dormant becomes living. Your authority rises. Voice strengthens. Faith deepens. Spirit stabilizes. Eyes clearer. Heart aligned. Fear losing its grip. As you step into this final awakening phase, heaven places a question. Not to test, but to crown you. Will you move now? Stop waiting for permission you have. Stop shrinking into rooms you influence. Stop letting fear interpret God's confirmation. Stop delaying the assignment only you can fulfill. Destiny doesn't respond to potential. Destiny responds to obedience. Everything in your spirit knows this is the moment. Not one day, not eventually, not when perfect. Now. The world needs what you carry. Heaven is ready to release what was held back for this hour. Timing aligned. Preparation complete. Inner war confronted. Authority inside you rises like an unstoppable tide. Chosen one, this is the final truth of your story. You weren't chosen to survive. You were chosen to shift. Chosen to carry something holy. Chosen to release something heaven waited for. No force, darkness, doubt, delay, fear, can stop a vessel whose spirit has finally awakened. The next step is your movement into destiny. Chosen one, as we close, let this truth settle, heaven has already begun the shift. You stand in your kairos moment. The exact divine timing prepared for you before birth. Nothing that fought, delayed, or wounded you can stop what God releases now. Anointed one, walk forward knowing the supernatural transfer started. Strength rising. Clarity forming. Doors aligning. Hard things move with ease. Heaven is backing your assignment. Stay faithful, focused, aligned with the Spirit's whisper. Your next steps carry purpose. Your obedience will open what no man can shut. If this word confirms something, share your "I receive it" in comments, only if led. Until next time, remain blessed, grounded, and ready. Heaven isn't finished with you. It is only beginning.